Oh, yeah, this is your boy, Live Wire, and I'm back in the motherfucking building, baby. What's going on, people? How have you been? How are things in gaming? Today sparked a conversation just like many other conversations that I spark on my channel based on just interactions with people on Twitter. It's really what it is. And for the last couple of days here and there, I've spoken to a couple of people, and I guess for the last couple of months actually, I've been dealing with Xbox dudes, PlayStation dudes, PC dudes, and a lot of people have like to say Xbox has no game. And I'm like, how the fuck does it have no games? It literally dropped fucking 4 games in the holiday. But yet people love to run with the narrative that it has no games. And I was trying to figure out, I'm like, well, if I'm playing Forza, if I'm playing Gears, if I'm playing Halo, if I'm playing all these other multi-platforms on top of these exclusives, how does Xbox have no games? And it's kind of twofold. And I'll explain that, because you got to understand, there are some gamers that don't play multiplayer. They don't. So people that don't play multiplayer look at a game for being campaign only, which is a very interesting way of looking at it. What's good, Bam? Like think of it this way. Killer Instinct dropped it was a launch game 3 years ago. Yes, it's got expanded material, and you got all these characters, but all in all, it's still Killer Instinct, right? What makes it fun, what makes it enjoyable, is competing against other people. But guess what? If you don't like playing online multiplayer against other people, Killer Instinct kind of loses its value. Look at games like Halo, right? Halo, in any Halo. You have a game where, let's say Master Chief Collection, have 4 campaigns, massive content, right? But if you don't play multiplayer, it's still very limited to what potential the game has. Then you have Halo 5, which is like the king of content, because that bitch it's the game that keeps on giving, But if you only played Halo 5 for its campaign, it's very limited. And this is what I've come to realize about mainly PlayStation gamers. They're almost like a crack addict for games, right? But the thing is, they don't really fuck with multiplayer like that. Even PlayStation gamers, like you see on Next Gen podcasts, like Porter Rock, right? Porter Rock said multiple times, he says there's very few games that he plays online. I think he said Destiny. I don't even remember him saying Destiny. It might have been some other game too. But for the most part, he doesn't play online, right? So the thing is, if you don't play online as a gamer, you're going to need a greater fix of games to hold you over. Like shit, for years, I used to just be able to play 2K. I play 2K and maybe a game here and there, but I mainly just lived on 2K, just playing online alone, not even playing the fucking career, none of that shit, because you could do that. And then, I mean, some people play multiple careers. They'll they'll buy 2K every 2 years, so they'll play the fuck out of it. So, or Madden or whatever the fuck. But when you play it online competitively, that shit just stretches the value of that game. And people don't understand, especially on the PlayStation side, when you say, oh, I'm playing Halo 5, they're like, why the fuck would you be playing a game that came out a year ago? Well, the thing you got to understand is Sony games don't retain the same value as Xbox games do. They just don't. You know, Horizon Zero Dawn is the hot shit for right now. I mean, I don't even know if it's still as, I mean, it was hot last week. Right now it's kind of dwindling because people are playing Ghost Recon now, you know, but it was the hot shit. And once everybody beats it, then nobody's going to give a fuck about it because, you know, its value is only based on the fact that people are currently playing. Like, it's like if you're not playing PlayStation games in the moment in which they release, it really has no value after that. Unlike, you know, games that are multiplayer, like think of it, Destiny, Halo, Gears. Gears just got a spike. Why? Because it got an update and it got maps. So it's gonna get a spike. Like these games, anytime you have multiplayer games, especially when they get content released, they come in waves, right? So you know, you have your consistent fan base, and then you have people that jump in only when new content releases. Like they might be in 2 weeks, maybe a month, and they jump off and play something else, and then they're like, oh, new content, and then they jump back on. Same thing goes on with Forza, and all multiplayer games have this. You know, that's why they kind of delve out the DLC the way they do, is to bring those waves of new buyers into the fray. That's the reason why. So it's like you're basically constantly talking to these guys and they just don't get it. They don't understand how you could play a game longer than maybe a month or two. Like they don't understand that. To them it's like hard to comprehend, because for the simple fact that PlayStation games don't last that long. It's like, what can I compare it to? PlayStation games are like juicy fruit. That shit is amazing when you taste it, but the flavor doesn't last long. So after a while, it's like, damn, I already finished this piece. I need another one now to get my next flavor kick. Whereas Xbox games are more like Bubblicious, where it might not have the initial hit that the flavor does, but that shit lasts well over time versus what you get with Juicy Fruit. That's just my gum reference of the day. You can tell I like gum myself. I don't swallow the gum though. Unlike Spicy, I don't swallow the gum. I spit that shit out. I don't need that in my stool fucking up my digestive tract. But anyway, man, it's just like, you know, like it's hard to explain to these guys. And that's why they always say we don't have any games. Because, you know, it's almost like they're like, oh shit, I need my next fix. Because, you know, the game doesn't, you know, the games that they have just don't have the same. I mean, because look, that's why you hear about guys, they talk about platinuming shit, completing shit. Like when you got multiplayer games, I don't even know how the fuck you even try to complete. Like I don't even attempt it, to be honest. There's just too much shit going on. Single player games, yeah, you could try to max shit out, do everything if you want to. But multiplayer games is just, that shit is so hard to even try to attempt. I don't have the time in the day to do some shit like that. This shit is just like, it's like, yo, I just play for the enjoyment, man. That's why they shit on games like Sea of Thieves, because they can't understand, like, if you don't play multiplayer games, you can't be excited for a game that's mainly multiplayer. You see what I'm saying? It's like, oh, a game mainly multiplayer? What do you mean? It's not narrative based? Like somebody's not like controlling every aspect of the story? Like, what the fuck? I don't get. Like, anybody who plays Halo, or games like that, there's moments where you be like, yo, an epic moment happened. Like, a motherfucker was on your ass. You fucking threw a grenade off the ceiling, bounced behind you. You rotate to turn around to shoot him, realize that the grenade fucking fell right in front of the guy and blew his ass up before you even got a chance to have to really even shoot him. Like, shit like that. But if you're not playing those type of games and you're not, you don't have those experiences, it's just like, the wow factor isn't like that. Like single player games, everybody can do the same thing. It's very constrained as far as like what you can do. Like, that's why when we look at games like Crackdown, where it gives you that kind of freedom, like, it's going to be this generation's I want to say hit. I don't know. See, the thing is, it's hard to say that if anything could be the next big thing, I think it would be Crackdown because of the type of game it is. But it's hard to say that it will have the same impact as Halo years, because I don't know. It's just too hard to tell how people will receive it. I think it will, because if people are going Google and Gaga for games like GTA, I think people will also go Google and Gaga for Crackdown. I just think that GTA, they have their different factions and things. So I don't know. I mean, there's different levels into why people, really fall in love with GTA. Obviously, it has a great story for people that just want to play it for the story. So, but as far as the multiplayer, like, you can build and have great success on games just being multiplayer. But in these in debates and arguments with people that don't understand the value of multiplayer, it's just like, it's hard to really, explain to these people why you value that, why, this would be, something that, is something that has great value, man. I don't know. To me, it's like, I don't know. It's almost on the same aspect of I guess you could. What can I compare it to, man? I don't know. I don't want to be so crass and compare it to pussy. Everybody does that. I don't think it's that serious. But I just think, the thing is, this is what I feel. When you play a game that's multiplayer, you can get a reoccurring excitement for the game over and over and over and over and over, because of the challenge, because of the experiences, because nothing ever really happens the same way all the time. That's what's really awesome about multiplayer versus single player. You know what the fuck's gonna happen, when the fuck is gonna happen, how everything's gonna look when you get there. Like, there's no real surprise in a single player game after you be in it multiple times. Like, you're not gonna go back into Bloodborne and play it for the 5th time and be like, oh shit, I totally didn't know this shit was here. No, this shit is not gonna happen. Like it's the same. If after the 2nd time, you probably done played through all the areas you're possibly gonna play in that game. It's not that many. Same thing with Uncharted. Even though Uncharted does have multiplayer, everybody knows it's not very good. It's not the worst ever made. I think that's still, you still got a lot of other games that have really, really bad multiplayer. But, it's just nothing to really tout as like, oh, I got to play Uncharted for multiplayer. The only people that play Uncharted multiplayer are people that feel they have to. Like, they're trying to appease the fan base. Some people who bought Uncharted and that's the only game they can have, and that they got to pay their Patreon account. So it's like, oh, okay, I need you to play Uncharted for this 270 times. Like, ugh. All right, keep giving me that money, and I'll play this goddamn game. You know, shit like that. But other than that, it's like, it's not a game that people really tout as a good game, man. Nobody, it's not gonna win any awards. It's just not a very good multiplayer. It's just not. Their story is awesome. Everything else is like whatever. But yeah. So when you have Horizon and Uncharted, those games are never going to compare to Halo and Gears, because the Horizon specifically is just a single player game. So it's never gonna, like, it's not gonna get the same acclaim as Halo or Gears. It's not gonna sell as much over time. You know, it just won't, because there's no multiplayer. So its initial sell will always be big because it's something fresh, something new. It's something wow, like graphics, wow, like that's always the initial sell. But then over time, when people actually had the game, played the game, beat the game, you know, when they go back, they're like, it's always, these are always the same reaction. Initially, they get the game. Oh man, this game is the best game ever. It's always with the PlayStation. Oh, this game is the best game ever. Oh my god, the graphics are so amazing. Oh my god, this is so amazing. I almost cried. And then a couple of months later, they'll be like, man, that game was whatever. Unless there's, I mean, but that's what they say behind closed doors. Never in the public. They gotta give their Twitter face. They gotta always be like, oh no, this is the best game ever. Oh, it's the best game ever. Even if the game is shit. Like, this is the funny thing about PlayStation dudes. Even if they know the game is shit and got good reviews, in spite of it being shit, they'll still say the game is good just because it's better than something that's, you know, it has a better score than something on Xbox. Like, that's the crazy thing. That's the crazy thing. Like, but it is what it is, you know. People have to be, well, which is funny. You know what? People give crap a lot of shit for doing fanboy shit, like his video on Horizon Zero Dawn and Recore yesterday. Like, he'll do shit like that all the time, and obviously all the time the Xbox games win. And they bitch and complain about that shit, right? But then when Xbox has a better game, like Drive Club is being compared to Forza, you know, PlayStation gamers will go out and be like, well, it's not a better game because graphically, like, nothing compares to a Drive Club. And it's like, but Forza is by far the better game. No, it's not, because, you know, it had, you know, look at the sales. It's always something. Like, look at the sales. Like, but they sold that game for like $5. It doesn't matter. It sold a lot. Like, Forza has no Forza has sold under $20. I don't even think, actually, Forza 5 is still at 30. So it's like come on, man. Like, come on. Like, people, like, PlayStation gave those fucking games away, and people are just touting like, oh, look at the sales. Like, but bitch, they gave it away for $5. That's a fucking Happy Meal. That's how much Xbox 360 games cost at fucking Burger King. Remember those fucking games, the Xbox 360 games that they little, it was like 4 or 5 Xbox, like, little party games or whatever the fuck they used to sell at Burger King for $5. Remember that shit? That's how much they sold fucking Drive Club for. And people are touting 2 million in sales or whatever. I'm like, yo, they gave that shit away. They gave it away. Like, what the fuck? It's funny as hell, man. But yeah, man, those games will never compare, man. It's just, and what I mean is, it's not even so much sales, because Uncharted at some point, yeah, it might even sell better than an Xbox game. But the proof is in the pudding. People don't play it. You know, like, PlayStation guys always say, oh, you're only playing this game because you have nothing else to play. Hell no. That is definitely, look, I have friends that buy Xbox for Halo and won't leave hate. Like my boy John had Halo Master Chief Collection, and he played it. We played through the campaign. The multiplayer was janky, so we didn't play it as much. And then we jumped on the Titanfall for a minute. We were on Titanfall for a minute, even though he loved. John was one of the few that really liked Halo 4 maps because he liked the sprinting and all that stuff. But he knew the maps. He liked the maps. But when Halo 5 came out, he bought Mortal Kombat. He bought Shadows of Mordor. He still hasn't played those games. He only plays Halo 5. And every time he thinks about playing another fucking game, Halo drops more content. So he still only plays Halo. Look, man, in Halo, you got multiple types of multiplayer. You got your Warzone. You got your Warzone firefight. You have your fucking arena, and you got your fucking breakout. You're saying like you've got 4 completely different modes, and then on top of that, you have the fucking the community maps that they make with Forge. So it's like there's shit ton of content in that game, like a shit ton. Like somebody could literally buy Xbox One for Halo and be content. You could drive around in it. You could shoot shit up in it. You could party with. You could do whatever the fuck you want to do in that game. Content galore. You know, you don't have anything. There's nothing like that on PlayStation. Period. Nothing. Not even close. Nothing close to what Halo 5 has done. There's no game on PlayStation as an exclusive that you can buy and be like, oh, I'm gonna play this and nothing else. As a multiplayer, yes, GTA 5. That's the only game. Or people that play Minecraft and like Minecraft. You know, and maybe some people that play Ark, because I know a couple people are addicted to Ark. It's janky as fuck. But I understand why people, you know, it's the creativity and the freedom and all that shit. But yeah, there's no exclusive, no PlayStation exclusive does what Halo does, has the freedom that Halo has, you know, which is odd because Forge mode is not something new. And I'm surprised that even Destiny hasn't employed something like that. But I don't know, it's interesting. You would think they would have, but maybe it was because their engine is, you know, has the issues that it did. You know, maybe that's the reason why. But yeah, man. Yeah, what's going on, people? Yeah, so you know, the arguments that these people make are just hilarious to me. You know, like you think that Horizon Zero Dawn can compare to Gears. It cannot. There's no multiplayer in it. Like by the time you're done with fucking Horizon Zero Dawn, I'm still living on fucking Gears. I'm still chewing that gum. You done spit that bitch out multiple times. I'm still good. My shit got flavor. It's like Willy Wonka gum. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, those PlayStation games, they lose flavor dumb quick. They're great when you initially play it, but that flavor just wears out thin, man. That shit go, and when it's gone, it's really, you know, it's almost like you got to fight yourself to jump back in. You know, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you can't get 2, maybe even 3 playthroughs in it. But oh man, it was a great game. I want to try to re-experience that all over again. But it's not gonna compare to fucking to multiplayer with Halo. Like that shit is different, man. You know, like it's just different. You know, like the multiplayer is just it just adds to a game. Like your single player is like the game itself, obviously, right? You got your structure, all that shit. It's like a bad bitch. Know what I mean? It's like a bad bitch. You know, she look good, smell good, all that shit. You get to play it for the first time. Ooh, it was amazing. That's what single player is. But guess what? It's like a single player game without multiplayer is like you mess with a girl or guy, whatever you like. And it's like Groundhog Day or sort of. It's like you did whatever you did, right? But it's the same way, the same thing over and over again. Like it doesn't change when it's single player because you already know, like, all right, it's gonna do this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen, this is gonna happen, and never fucking changes. It's like the same thing every time. Well, multiplayer, the shit is always going to be different. You always get it. It's like, it's like having that bad chick that, does all the freaky shit that you never even dreamed of. That's what multiplayer is. Like, damn, bitch, I didn't even know you did this shit. God damn. She be like, yeah, had to do something different. Like, that's what it is, like having an awesome multiplayer, man. But, if y'all don't live in that world, you're not going to know that shit. You just playing the same shit. Oh, what does it say? Says, Know Your Lane says their fans are fake because they was hating on Guerrilla Games for Killzone. Now they on Guerrilla Games dick now for Horizon. Yeah. Well, you know what? The funny thing is they didn't hate on Killzone when it was I don't know. Their fans are weird, man. Like, this is how their fans go. Like Guerrilla Games, Killzone, they were like, Killzone's the shit. You don't know what it is. Be like, it's not good as Halo. Oh, well, it's not good as Halo. Well, it's still a quality game. It looks better than Halo. We didn't say it didn't look better than Halo. We just said it's not as good as Halo. Whatever. It's still a great game. So, 2 million, almost 3 million people bought it. It's a great game. You can't even say that it's not a great game. All of a sudden, Horizon Zero Dawn comes out, gets better scores, and be like, Killzone was shit, but Horizon like, what the? Yeah, so yeah, they definitely flip. Once something better comes out, shit. Think about this: when the Order came out, everybody was like, the Order, all the way up until that bitch dropped. When that bitch dropped, and it was like 60 or whatever the fuck it was on Metacritic, motherfuckers was like, man, those are bullshit ass reviews. People they're not real reviews. These reviews are shit. These motherfuckers don't know what they're talking about. They don't appreciate the craftsmanship with this game. Blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. All of a sudden, Bloodborne drops. Yeah, the Order was shit. I didn't even like that game. But Bloodborne's a masterpiece. It's like, what the fuck? That's how it is, man. That's how it is. They just jump on whatever the new hot shit is. Bloodborne got the new high score, but the funny thing is, all right, all these, the Gravity Girl, fucking Yakuza 0, whatever fucking game was it? I think it was Horizon and Neo. Those 3 games came out, and Neo had like a 90 something on Metacritic, and Gravity Rush and the other one had like 80s, right? Everybody was like, oh my God, these games are amazing. Oh, Xbox has no games. Then fucking Horizon Zero Dawn came out, and everybody just ignored those other 3 games like they never even fucking happened. Like, yeah, they'll talk about them and something like, oh, look, these scores. But they don't fucking talk about those games. I don't see people posting up Neo shit no more. Whatever happened to Neo shit? I thought that shit was the hot shit. That bitch was out like a week ago. Like a week or 2 before fucking Horizon. People just stopped posting it, just started posting Horizon. It's like motherfuckers just really, like, they just be scratching. But I need my next hit. I need it. I need that next game. Like, yo. That shit is too funny, yo. Like, that's mad games that happen one time. But even with that being said, man, it's just like, yo, how many games do you think motherfuckers can play? Like, for real though. Like, I got a serious backlog. Shit, I still haven't jumped back in the Shadows of Mordor. I still got a shit ton of stuff to do with fucking The Witcher. Because I play multiplayer games. I play my fucking Forza. I play my fucking I haven't played Battlefield 1 in a little bit. And I haven't played Halo in a little bit. Damn. Actually, I need to get back into Gears. Yeah. I gotta get back into my shooters, man. I've been playing fucking Forza like a madman. And then when I haven't been playing that, I've been playing fucking State of Decay. So like those games, man, like you got tons of value, but when you have multiplayer games in your library, that bitch just stretches out. Like it really just stretches out what you have. So like, people can say Xbox doesn't have games all they want, but that's because they don't fucking have an Xbox or they don't play fucking multiplayer games. And then that to me, that sounds like a personal issue, because like this holiday, this year coming up, like I don't like if you think like I don't know what as far as story these three games are gonna have as far as Crackdown, Sea of Thieves, and State of Decay. Now, State of Decay was solid. I don't remember the story per se. Like, I mean, obviously it was about the zombie apocalypse and it was basically you finding your way out of the area that you're at. But it wasn't like a big deep story. It wasn't so much of like it wasn't a cinematic story. It's more like an experience overall with the gameplay. The same thing I could say probably is going to be the same thing for Sea of Thieves. It's not going to. I don't think it's going to be a game about like story per se. It'll be about the experience that you receive with it. Now, and Crackdown is the same thing because Crackdown didn't have Crackdown. You basically went in and it was like, all right, here's the game. You go through the tutorial, and then it's like, all right, this is what you got to do. You either go for the main boss straight off the jump, but they're gonna whoop the fuck out of you because you ain't strong enough to go against his ass, or you can knock down these mini bosses around him and then get to your objective. I don't see fucking them making a story about Crackdown where it's like, oh, he was a cop, but the drug lord killed his wife and daughter. So now he decided, and he almost got murdered himself, but he survived some way. But he needed to get medical enhancements in order to be able to go back on the foot. Like I don't see them doing that shit. Like I just think they're gonna make Crackdown a game that is fun to play. Like I think Crackdown is going to be, kind of like what, a game like I don't want to say game like Overwatch, but just it'll be mainly focused on being a multiplayer game. And I don't think anything's wrong with that. I just think that people reviewers tend to judge Microsoft games harshly based on that. Like Overwatch got high reviews, even though it was a single player game. Even Star Wars Battlefront got pretty decent reviews, even though it was not single player game, a multiplayer game for both of those, right? But when Xbox games are have great multiplayer, but like the campaign isn't, all that in a bag of chips, they tend to get judged harshly for it. Reviewers tend to completely ignore what it is that their game does extremely well and just focuses on, what is not considered to be done all that well. But, I see the main thing with those games. Crackdown. I just can't wait to play it, man. Like it's going to be one of those great, like just wow. I can't just stop playing this game because it's amazing. My thing is like, how are they gonna do? Like they're gonna have to figure out a way to make it where I don't know if they're gonna do loadouts and shit like that. So my thing with Crackdown is like, how do you implement upgrades? To keep people constantly wanting to stay in there and keep coming back for more. Like that's my whole thing with Crackdown. Like, what are you gonna do? Are you going to build and have it set up like Halo, where you have like your arena section where everybody comes in with a pistol and maybe an assault rifle, and then all the other goodies are like hidden throughout the world, and you got to go kind of find them, and then you're able to, basically play based on power weapons. That would be kind of cool. It's like, all right, the power weapons are here, here, and here, or are you going to have them, spawn up randomly? I don't know. You might do it both. I don't know. Yeah, you know what? I think they'll probably do it because they do it for Gears and Halo. It's like, all right, where the power weapons are going to be for Gears and Halo. And the community, and it works. You know, people don't complain. It's just like, all right, you got to know the map. You got to know where to get there, how to get there. You know, so and you could, and it's got to be some crazy shit that's gonna happen based on knowing it's like, all right, you can't buy the weapon waiting for it to respawn, but a motherfucker could blow through the wall knowing that your ass is going to be there, you know, like, or maybe they'll have infrared vision or something like that, like some crazy different perks for loadout. Like maybe they'll have cloaking. Oh, that shit would be dope. Have like cloaking. I mean, because the dude is like a cyber cop. Why not? You know, I don't know what they'll have, but you know, that would be kind of cool to have like a maybe like a 10-second cloaking ability, or maybe 30-second. I don't know. But I see Crackdown being a great time, and Sea of Thieves could just be a great game to do quests on. I could just, you know, it's like, all right, you got to get past this crazy ass monster to get this treasure, so you have enough coins to get towards building, you know, the ultimate ship that you want. And you know, in the process, you got to make sure that, you know, your shit doesn't get fucked up and destroyed or whatever. Because I wonder, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do in Sea of Thieves as far as like, all right, your ship gets sunk. Does that mean you gotta start from scratch? I think that would kind of suck. Fuck, that would suck big time. I'd be mad as hell if somebody sunk my ship. Like, you bitch. Especially all the work you put into it. So, and then they just give you some regular ass ship like from scratch. That sucks. Especially if you be like, damn, that was my Gears of War flag, you fucker. But nah, I mean, look, man, these games are gonna be great. Multiplayer is where it's at, man. Because look at all the top games that sell. All the top games that sell have multiplayer and have strong. Look, Minecraft sells more than fucking Grand Theft Auto. That bitch is only multiplayer. There ain't no goddamn story in that shit. You know? So, you know, you got Minecraft, crazy multiplayer. You got fucking Grand Theft Auto, crazy multiplayer. You have Forza, crazy multiplayer. That bitch is still on the charts. God damn. I'm surprised. I mean, it wasn't like Forza 2 wasn't shit. Forza 2 was a great game too, but yeah, you know what? I ain't gonna lie, I ain't buy Forza 2, so you know. Well, I mean not Forza 2, but Forza Horizon 2. But yeah, Forza Horizon 3, that game is the shit. That game is the shit, man. That was a great game. I know people are like, oh, I don't like racing games. Like, I don't see. I mean, I'm not saying you gotta like track. Like Forza Horizon 3 isn't like a regular, you know, racing simulator. It's nothing like that. And anybody telling you, well, if you know, if I wanted to drive a car, I wouldn't play a simulator. I just get in my car and drive. Like, bitch, you're not doing the shit in Forza Horizon 3 in your real car. Number one, you would fucking die. Like the first stunt you tried, your ass would be gone. It'd be like, well, that's the end of your ass. Like, you ain't fucking driving off cliffs into the beach. Like, you ain't doing that shit unless you're a fucking psycho and looking for a death wish. Like, you ain't doing no shit like that. So it's like, you know, like Forza, man. Oh my god, that game is great. Like, to be honest, Forza, like, again, a person can buy an Xbox One and just have Forza and be content with that game based on the single player and the multiplayer alone. Like, there's no games on PlayStation that give you that value right there. Like, you just don't have it. The Drive Club damn sure ain't it. That game is fucking boring. GTA, that shit is boring too. I mean GTA. What do you call it? Gran Turismo. Those games are fucking boring too. That shit is old. That shit's boring. You don't have drivatars. It's like, what the fuck is the point? You're gonna be driving against the computer. I'd rather drive against somebody that I know. Like, you don't understand. Like, it is way more satisfying driving against somebody like one of your friends. You know this guy drives the same way your friend does because you competed against them. So playing Forza 6, getting smashed by my cousin, or fucking Bam Bam or Xbox 4. The fuck. Locksmith. The fuck? I don't know damn locksmith. Or competing against Xbox 448, who's a beast in Forza, by the way. I hate his goddamn bucket list. I hate Xbox 448's bucket list, man, because I don't know how the fuck I don't know what cars he's using, but I'll be like, yo, this is some bullshit. The shit he be pulling off in that game. I'm like, man, fuck those lists. I ain't doing them. But yeah, man, like, think about it. Like a person could literally live off of Xbox exclusives alone and be good just based on the multiplayer. Like every year we get one good multiplayer game. Like think about it. When Xbox released, the first year came out, you had Killer Instinct, which motherfuckers is still playing to this day. You had Forza 5, which people are still playing to this day, which is crazy. It's crazy that motherfuckers are still playing that game because there's Forza 6 out, and you got people still playing the first. Well, you know what? Some people have kind of went back. So I've noticed there's a lot of people that went and got Forza Horizon 3. They kind of went to got Forza 6, and then Forza Horizon 2, and they kind of went backwards. They kind of pick up all the other racing games that they missed. So there's that. But then you have Dead Rising. Dead Rising 3 had a real good co-op. It didn't have multiplayer. It had that DLC thing, but see, that wasn't free, so I don't know how many people really was fucking with that. But they did have the campaign co-op, which was pretty cool. But what else? And then you had Rise. So you had Rise, you had Grand Theft Auto, you had Dead Rising, and those all had some form of multiplayer. Even though Rise could have been better with his multiplayer, had it like been PvP, that would have been dope. Because it's really just a competitive co-op, and Dead Rising 3 was just a straight up free for all. But what else was there? I can't remember. Well, obviously you had Titanfall in the first year, so that's another multiplayer. So you had Titanfall. Actually, Titanfall and Halo Master Chief came out in the same year. So you had two multiplayers, including Forza Horizon 2 that came out that year. So that was technically 3 multiplayer games that you could just eat off of. Then the following year, you had Halo 5, you had Forza 6, and fuck else was there? Trying to remember. Halo 5, Forza 6. I don't know, it slips my mind. Was that Tomb Raider? I think Tomb Raider came out that year too. But see, that's not a multiplayer game. Yeah, I think that was it for multiplayers. If there was something else, I don't know, it just slipped my mind. So you had that. Then you have obviously this past year you got Gears of War, you got Forza Horizon 3, and you have Dead Rising, and I think that's it. And those were the 3 multiplayer games that you had. Obviously, Quantum Break was a single player, and so was ReCore. But like Microsoft leaves you aside. I mean, they gave you your single player. Also, they gave you your multiplayer, and you could literally eat off of Gears. You could eat off of Forza Horizon, and you could eat off of Dead Rising 3 because they have their competitive co-op mode for Dead Rising 4. So you have those 3 games. Like PlayStation don't do that. PlayStation's last real. I mean, what do they have? They have, as far as multiplayer, I mean, Killzone, uh, Uncharted 4, and damn, is that it? No, it's got to be something else. It's Killzone, Uncharted. Damn, that's it. You only have two multiplayer games this whole fucking generation? No. It's Killzone. All right, so they had Knack and Killzone. You want to put Knack in there? Fine, put Knack in there. They got Knack, Killzone. I mean, it's not really multiplayer, but it's co-op or whatever. I guess you could throw that in there. Oh, you know what? Here, we'll throw them a bone. Let's put in the co-ops for PlayStation because they don't really got many multiplayers. God damn, shit's dry. All right, so they got Killzone and Knack that came out the first year. They had Drive Club, and Little Big Planet that came out the second year. Last year they had Uncharted 4. Well, actually, hold up. Not last year. They had something else, right? The fuck did they have? Damn. Whew. I don't know. Well, we'll just move on to Uncharted. Then Uncharted. Oh, The Last of Us. That's what they had. The Last of Us. I mean, yeah, I know it's a PS3 game, but still, they had it. So The Last of Us. We'll count it. They need something. So they had The Last of Us, and then they had Uncharted. So they had a few games. I think the only real noteworthy ones were obviously The Last of Us, Uncharted 4, and Killzone. So that's really their multiplayer. None worthy. I mean, Last of Us is probably the most competitive one. That's probably the only decent one. Like Uncharted is a joke. That fucking multiplayer is god awful trash. It's just like that's just a goofy ass mess. Killzone is fucking boring. I don't. It's just I don't know, man. It's just dry. It's dry ass pussy. It's fucking Killzone is that shit is dry pussy. It's like damn, I want to fuck, but this bitch is dry. Like what the fuck am I supposed to do with this dry ass pussy? You know what? I'm gonna just leave this shit right here and go find some wet pussy because this shit is not for me. But yeah, man, like so what all I'm saying with this whole thing is like, games, yeah, we look at games a little different. I mean, I don't the mindset of an Xbox a gamer versus a PlayStation gamer is very different. Like they really, really value their solo experiences more so than anything, and they don't really see anything outside of they don't really pay attention to the multiplayer. They don't so when they say Xbox has no games, they're not putting in the fact that about the multiplayer portion. They don't think they just in their mind, you're literally playing the campaign over and over again. That's what they think of when you say, "Oh, I'm playing Halo." They're like, "Oh, you're playing the campaign." Like they can't fathom why somebody would play, the same game multiple times because multiplayer doesn't exist to them. Like they don't because their multiplayer isn't worth playing, so therefore they assume ours isn't either. And that's really the gist of it. I mean, and how do I know this? Because I'm like I've said many a times, I have taught kids that have only played PlayStation, and we used to, whether it was high school or it was during camp, a lot of people grew up on PlayStation because of a couple of things. One, they would play PlayStation mainly because I think a lot of people played their sports games like Madden and 2K. A lot of people played those sports games on PlayStation for the longest. PS2, people played Madden like a motherfucker. It wasn't until 360 that Xbox got the Madden deal. Like everybody acting like Madden was EA was always on like with Xbox marketing. It wasn't similar to the whole Call of Duty thing. It just was a complete role reversal, right? Now this gen, PS4 has Call of Duty when last gen Microsoft had it, you know. But when PS2 was out, like everything was, Madden. Even PS1. PS1, everything was Madden and EA. You know. Um and I didn't even like those games back then. I was heavy on Dreamcast. I was like, yo, man, 2K is the shit. This Madden shit is garbage. Cass was like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Madden's the greatest. I'm like, no, man. Y'all not playing Dreamcast. This shit is fucking official. Like, this fucking football. Everybody was like, no, no. It wasn't until 2K5, because mad people would, when Madden, 2K and NFL, NFL 2K5 and Madden '05 were out the same time, but 2K5 was $20. And actually all the 2Ks. It was NBA 2K, NFL 2K, and MLB 2K. They were all $20 each. So literally, you could buy 3 games for $60. That was the year everybody tried fucking 2K, and then everybody who tried it was like, "Oh shit, this is a good ass game." But before, you couldn't convince motherfuckers to play that shit. They just wouldn't do it. They were like, no. Like I had a boy who was like he's still a sneakerhead, but until 2K got the sneakers, like I remember 2K used to have like I think they had a Nike deal or an Adidas deal. I can't remember which one they got first. I think it was probably Adidas or some shit like that. And he was like, oh, they don't got all the real sneakers. And that was like his big thing. Like the game could be great and all that shit, but they didn't have all the real sneakers. So he wasn't really big on 2K until they started getting like all the Nike or the Jordan and all that shit. When that shit started happening, because even after '05, yeah, they recognized that the game was good, but they still rather play on live because live had all the sneakers, they had all the fucking paraphernalia, like people wearing the headbands and the armbands and all that shit. But once 2K got all that shit was a wrap. They was like, hold up. I think 2K11 was really what cemented 2K's dominance when they got Jordan on the cover, because Live had Jordan. But when 2K got Jordan on the cover, Cass was like, hold up. This shit is something serious right here. That's when Cass really, really, really wasn't. They was like, yo, they made that switch. They were like, nah, fuck this Live shit. I'm about to play some 2K. But yeah, man, yo, it's like I don't know. The conversation is always funny to have when you debate people, especially PlayStation gamers, on why Xbox has no games. Like it's just the funniest thing. Like I said, because they don't view playing the same game, games the same way. Like I said, because they don't play multiplayer. So don't worry about it, man. When you got a guy talking about you don't play no games, don't worry about it, because he only plays single player games. So those games are like literally, it's like after he done spent his 20 hours, he has to move on. There's nothing else there, nothing left there for him. That's why a lot of these PlayStation guys, they rent too. Because you'd be like, well, why do they rent so much on PlayStation? Because they play single player games. So you play a single player game, you're not really planning to play it over and over and over again. So there's no real benefit of you buying the game, because you're only going to play it like one playthrough. Might as well rent it and then just move on. That's why the sale, like I'm pretty sure more than 8 million people have played Uncharted. It's just that's how many people have actually gotten the copy of the game. And the thing is like Uncharted probably I don't know. I mean, Xbox would probably have the same amount of physical copies too, except for their bundles. They don't count as physical because those bitches are all digital. So, you know, when they sell copies of Halo Gears or whatever, those are all digital. They don't count those in MPD. So you're not gonna see that. So even when I think Gears topped when it launched. You're talking about that's all physical sale. That's not bundles. Those bundles aren't included at all because all those are digital copies of the game. You know. But anyway, this is your boy Livewire. I'm about to start making some dinner. My ass got to make some garlic chicken and potatoes. Yeah, I got some taters. But this is your boy, and I'm out this bitch, baby. Peace.